I got this papaya and then the seeds. I'm just going to crush all these seeds into a paste and then, I don't know, maybe mix them with the peanut butter I got at Winco. Maybe papaya seeds cause stomach aches because I never had a stomach ache like this before. It's pretty annoying. And I had a couple spoonfuls of papaya. My stomach seems to be very painful and swollen from the papaya seeds. It's just been just a ache that just continues. After eating a whole papaya, I experienced a massive gut pain for about an hour and a half, just bloating and massive pain, much discomfort, and then it seems to have just gone away. Alright, Swiss muesli combination with yams. I kind of like the combination. It's something I've grown liking to. Comment, I swear that these yams make a good sweet substitute to milk. Alright, I'm not sure how much of a long-term effect this will be, but I put cayenne pepper in between my toes where they itched a lot, and it burnt. Yesterday I did it yesterday, and it burnt a lot, and it doesn't itch today, and it feels fine. I also put it in between my crotch area because I also have a bloody issue. Anywhere I got like a fungal issue or something, I've been putting cayenne pepper. Started that yesterday. It burnt in between my legs. It burnt between my toes. I just put some in between my legs underneath the scrotum, and it doesn't burn. I don't really feel anything. It's strange. So that intense burning I felt when I first applied it yesterday, there's nothing today. So that's quite interesting to me. I don't know what to think of the cayenne pepper treatment. Is that a long-term solution every time I get a problem? Because the copper works a little bit. Maybe it should be a mix. The hydrogen peroxide work temporarily a little bit. Maybe mixing, and then using cotton balls every so often, throwing down there to dry things out too. But I'm kind of like using the cayenne pepper as like a talc too. Like, you know, you buy that that talc powder that's supposed to dry things out. Well, cayenne pepper is kind of similar. Yeah. Okay, I just came across a humidifier at a local store and got a little inspired to try to think out loud through what my experiences have been with the humidity levels. Alright, I took that for granted on the coast. I was thinking, you know, there's always the problem with too much moisture on that coast, on the Pacific coast. Just all the rain and the fog and the wetness all around. It can damper, it can moisten, it can soggy, get your clothes soggy, your skin, your lungs soggy, everything gets all wet. And it's got its own kind of problems, I think. Maybe pneumonia or something. You're constantly carrying whatever pathogens prefer a high moisture content. You know, you can have those problems. Mold, you know, mold spores and all the fungal family. But then you go to the opposite ends, and there really is an opposite extreme. And when I saw that humidifier, it reminded me that I actually needed a humidifier back in Wisconsin through the winter months, because it was so bad. I couldn't breathe. There were times where it was, even though I could keep the house warm, there was so much moisture, or so lack of moisture, that it was like, I was just like stopping. It was just like, there needs to be moisture in the air, okay? And apparently around here that's a problem. And I'm not sure when, winter, summer. In Wisconsin, it's definitely in the winter time. When in the house, okay, when you're trying to warm up your house, it gets way too dry. It's a air circulator, which that's what you need, okay? It circulates all the air out and tries to heat it up and circulate it out, and that just takes out all the moisture and dries things to the bone. And in the deep cold, when it gets negative 30 degrees, it's so extremely dry. It's just incredible. I had to run a humidifier and then just kind of hover my face over it at times, just for some relief. Okay, so you can get outside of the balance. There is definitely a perfect balance with moisture in the air. Okay, and the comfort levels of that. There's no comfort with too low of moisture content, and there's no comfort with too high of moisture content. Okay, although I gotta, being in San Francisco and just seeing all the water vapor in the air, breathing that in, it didn't seem that bad on the lungs for breathing. It just gets on the skin and makes cold feel colder. Gets on the clothes, you put yourself at risk of mold. Maybe the lungs like moisture more. I'm not sure, but in that extreme dry in the Wisconsin winters, I was just bleeding out through my nose at times. I would just bleed out bloody snot, and it got worse every year because I was getting older, I guess, maybe, and it's just that's how it works. So the dryness is really something to be concerned about. When I was over in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait in the military, it got extremely hot and dry, and there were times that it was difficult to breathe. When I got up to 130 degrees during the day, it's like the heat is bad, the dry air is hard to breathe in. That's a struggle. So what's the perfect like balance with that? I mean, I'm flexible, all right. I can adapt to mild extremes, but when it's the extremes, then I start getting health problems. And it seems, I'm not going to say where I'm at, it's probably clear, but where I'm at seems like a good balance right now, but I have to spend a year here at least to get a better idea of what the overall picture of the dryness, the moisture content is. Alright, so I'm still experiencing breathing problems at times and also facial flushing. My face is redder before. I just got done on the picnic table doing a little bent over back bends again, and my upper back popped. It pops every time I'm on the picnic table, it seems. Not immediately, like if I do a second set, but if I went this morning and it popped, and this evening it popped, and I've never had it pop so frequently. Alright, the pops are increasing, and it seems like that pop has given me a slight relief on my breathing problems and my high heart rate, and my facial flushing. Alright, I think there's more to it. I think it's a combination of things. And I mean, the breathing problems and facial flushing didn't start until after Coquille, when I had that massive stress issue with the cops that lasted a month. And also, not just that, but also the sour cream, when I was just kind of eating that like it was ice cream, thinking that was fine, and then all of a sudden it caught up with me. And then the sudden stop of exercise. I was eating sour cream and then immediately exercising, getting the blood going and getting it pumping through my veins. And then that exercising stopped when the cops kicked me out of the basketball court. And then it seemed like ever since I was having the breathing problems, and then later, a couple of weeks later, the facial flushing started, and it's just been back and forth with all of that, and it's really unnerving to deal with. All right, it feels like the lung heart barrier is like corroded. It's congested in some way, and I don't. Would exercise help? I know that I've done some exercise that has gotten my circulation going and stuff, bicycling and all that. Not too often though. Not like when I was playing basketball at the Coquille basketball court, and it hasn't been like that. But you know, the whole time I was at Coquille, I never did any back bends on a picnic table. They really didn't have any opportunities there. There was one picnic table, but it got cold at times. I may have used it once, but I don't think I even did once. I don't think I did it at all for that whole month. And then weeks after that, there was nothing because it's just too wet and there's a lack of picnic tables. And I think maybe a good week before, sort of a month before that, not quite, Crescent City, I believe I was able to do some back bends. It was just so cold. I never really did them so much in the cold weather over the winter. But now that I'm getting back into them, it's warmer. There's more picnic tables available. I'm finding my my back popping a lot more, and it's not enough. I really got to do like more exercise with rows and stuff, which I'm not, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I just I'm in this position, I believe, where I am suffering a mechanical issue with a rounding. It's pretty much having a slouch. This is it seems to be breathing problems and heart problems and facial flushing that are resulting from a slouch, and it's compiled with bad habits, the slouching, uh, a broken back from the football injury, and then just the bad diet that I had that congested things. The thing that boggles me though is that I got to know a 90-year-old man who had severe osteoporosis or whatever in his upper back, where his upper back was very bent down, and yet he lived to 91. And I don't think, it didn't sound like his heart was giving out on him. It was just like this, there's this like this flutter towards the end, he described to somebody. It wasn't even a heartbeat, it was a flutter or something like that. And my heart is racing, it's going kind of fast, probably raising the blood pressure. And I wonder if it's my upper back that's doing that, if it's the slouching. It seems like it's a lot of mechanical. Of course, the other factors are involved all to play up to the problem. So I actually kind of worked my abs just doing a reverse back bend on the picnic table fitness. That felt kind of good. I think I'm going to have to bring a cushion with me more often so I can do more of a sit-up. That's the only way I enjoy sit-ups, unless I could do the hanging ab strap.